So I found this Titania deck in the 5.0 Commander listings, and I thought it was a really interesting take on Titania that plays a lot of cards I haven't seen in normal Titania decks. Instead of playing Ulamog, Emrakul, Karn, and Ugin, the curve mostly stops at 6, and instead it's playing a land destruction package with Follow Earth, Ice Storm, Thermokarst, and Winter's Grasp. It's also playing some more expensive land destruction. Most Titania decks are playing Monvoli Acid Moss and Primal Command. This one's also playing Reap and Sow, Acidic Slime, and Plow Under. It's also playing the Reclamation Sage that I was considering playing in my Titania deck, and it even went as far as to play Nature's Claim. I think this is to deal with Signets, so that Hall of Gemstones can really punish those multicolor mana bases. And there's a choke in here too to punish blue mana bases. It's a singleton format, so there are a lot of blue lands that aren't islands, but I think even if you can keep a couple islands tapped down, this is going to be pretty good. So the deck is still running the standard ramp into Titania package, but it's dropped a lot of its 3 and 4 drop mana accelerators in order to make room for the land destruction. So there's no Cultivate, there's no Wood Elves, and there's no Oracle of Modiah. The deck's already still pretty heavy in the 3 drops. There are still a few top-end creatures. Primeval Titan is still pretty good at what he does, and Woodland Bellower is some solid value. I'm not sure what Duplicant is here for specifically. It may be a little ambitious, but it actually can kill an Emrakul if it has to. And then Craterhoof Behemoth tops out the curve and just plain ends games. The deck is also running a really interesting land package. It's running all 3 of the Panoramas, which I think are pretty slow for most normal Titania decks. And it's also running Command Beacon and Petrified Field, which are some additional sack lands that most Titania decks don't play. What's interesting about this deck is that the big creatures and planeswalkers are really good against your creature matchups, which are already quite good, and somewhat bad against your blue and control decks. So I think this deck is looking to drop a few percentage points against its strongest matchups in order to give it some better game against its bad matchups. I don't know if it's enough, but either way, I saw this deck and I had to try it. With this Titania Heat deck, that's what I'm calling it. It might be a kind of a combo control kind of thing, but I just like to call it, it hates other people playing Magic. And this looks, what are we playing against? Timna and Bruce Taro. So normally a creature matchup's pretty decent. Do we crop rotation? Does that do much? It's probably fine. Crop rotation's an instant. I don't know what we're going for, but putting a land in our graveyard isn't all bad. Can maybe Ancient Tomb? Start taking damage. Right away against an aggressive deck. That's probably fine. We've got this Garruk. I'm going to grab Ancient Tomb. Drawing our first land hate, Ice Storm. If we draw a land, which we have a Sylvan Library, we can Garruk into Ice Storm. Presumably he has to sack this land or do something else. We can also Garruk into Song of the Dryads, taking 4 damage for that, but can stop him from doing anything. Can't be the worst thing in the world. Veteran Motorist. I think Garruk into Song of the Dryads protects our Garruk the best. And lets us Titania next turn. And he plays nothing. We don't have a land for this Mox Diamond. So I guess we don't really need it. I'm guessing he has a removal spell for Titania. We don't have anything we can sack here. Can we take 4 damage, Nissa, Ice Storm, or Nissa Acid Moss? Seems pretty good. He didn't do anything last turn. All right. Interesting card. Still use the ability. There's no forest. Okay. Can we still Acid Moss? Oh, we don't get a land off the Acid Moss. Or we might get a land off the Acid Moss. It's any land. Oh, it's a forest card. Is he missing anything? Right. It's fine. Okay. Taking a lot of damage here. Got a Fatal Push on Nissa? That's fine. Can't kill Ivan Mines, Garruk. If he goes after Garruk, he can't Timna. He does go after Garruk. Hoping to get a land that I can sack. Let's put these on top. And on top. So if he's City of Traders, then it goes in the graveyard when I play this forest. When I play it, so no. But later. So don't have much choice here. Gotta lean into Titania here. Don't get a land back, but or I mean I get a land back, but I don't get to sack it unless I destroy my own land. Looks like he's gonna fight me on the trigger anyways. All right. Don't have a way to stop that. And let's kill his red land. Pay 2 life to cast Titania next turn. If we draw a land, we can get the City of Traders back. Are you not attacking Brook? Okay, he is attacking Brook. So you gain no life. Or you get no cards. Green Sun Zenith gets us Primeval Titan. Although Zurin Orb just lets us sack all our lands. I think that... Think about that next time. See if we can kill him next turn. Alright. It's not dead. He has to block unprofitably. He doesn't have to block. But I think he probably should. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. He can block Titania and that's fine. Doesn't really change anything. And he's at 6. Now he has to deal with 25 damage on board or he dies. So he's going to go for the attack, I imagine. Do you have an answer to 25 damage on board? So the land destruction path didn't look too great against this matchup, but I think this is the matchup that you're. It only does 2 damage. Seems pretty greedy here. I think this is one of the creature matchups where you're losing a few percent to add in all the land destruction effects. And, you know, we're kind of seeing if we can get there anyways. And maybe I shouldn't have gone the land destruction route. It seemed pretty good at the time. I was worried about removal on Titania, which he did end up having. Whatever. Doesn't matter, I don't have any lands. You dead? You got a fog? Holy day. Alright, we win. Got another game. Lost the die roll. Playing against Selvala, which is a combo deck. No mana ramp. Choke is dead. Beast Within is alright against Selvala. I think we mulligan this. And this is probably alright. Not great. At least it has mana ramp. But we sacrifice the Beast Within. But I think without mana ramp, there's a good chance that he's going to mana ramp and get his Selvala out a turn earlier than we can Beast Within. So I think that was probably correct. Hopefully we get a good scry here. Magic Online always takes a while with these scries for some reason. Not sure I understand what's going on. We don't want another forest. Yeah, see. He's looking to get that turn 2, Selvala. And I think this is one where we're not going to do particularly well. You can't really interact with Selvala without a Song of Dryads, which we haven't drawn. Let's play the Panorama. And hope we don't die right now. It is pretty draw dependent. You know, it's a counter deck. So he draws a card off the Selvala. Sacrifice land, get a forest. If we play Garruk, he just attacks into it. Can't play Primal Command or Plow Under. So I guess it's just the Devoted Druid. And hope we're still not dead. I don't know if Plow Under is good enough. Primal Command is non-creature. That might make Plow Under better. Looks like he's fishing. No, he can still activate Selvala for 4. Plow Under now puts this Sylvan Tutor, whatever he draws, 2 cards down. Primal Command would shuffle it. So I don't know if they're the right answer here. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Alright, usually you want to play that before. I guess he gets an 8/8 and it draws a card. I don't know how good these things are. Put these lands on top of his library. That's to sack a creature if he wants to keep the 8/8. Which he sacks the Serpapard. That's interesting. He's got a lot of mana here. How did he still get that? Shuffle your library, put it on top of... Oh, and then he drew a card, so it wasn't on top of his library. Alright. We're gonna GG. It's still not great against the combo decks. To be predicted. Alright, so we got another game. We get to play first this time, which is always good. Hand's not great. What are we playing against? Izuri. It's an interesting one. We'll keep it. It's decent enough. It's a little slow. I wonder if this deck actually slows down a bit. I noticed Oracle of Moldiah isn't in the deck. There might be some other mana ramp. I didn't really do a side-by-side comparison of everything that is playing. I don't know if this Izuri deck's looking to counterspell, but I guess we do Into the North. I don't know. Let's go with Mouth Ronom. Get an island. Oh, that's fabulous. Can we choke him next turn? Guess not. Get Cavern. I don't know what his plans are, but see, this is one of those times where we don't have a land in our graveyard. We might have to wait until turn 4, but we can Panorama and choke him. Alright. Nissa for 1. He gets to scry. This is tapped. So let's bring this down. Put it over here. Alright. So in the interest of playing around days, we choke first. This is an elemental. But we're not doing that. We're gonna choke you. much more interested in getting a land in my graveyard. Alright, gets another island. So that's Panorama, pay green. Oops. I guess it doesn't really matter. Can't be countered, can be bounced. If you bounce, you want to do it now. Otherwise, it can make a 5/3. Alright. This choke's looking pretty darn good. Where did he scry to? Oh, he put cards on the bottom, so he didn't know what his top cards were. So, the choke single-handedly won us the game. Titania hate deck. This time we're against Vial Smasher and Timna. Or Tana, the Bloods. That's an interesting one. So, green and not blue. We'll keep this hand. Draga's Tree Speaker seems a bit greedy against a black deck. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just go for the Elvish Mystic plan. I mean, Draga Tree Speaker is a high upside. Alright, nothing we can do there. Hopefully we draw out like land removal. That's not land removal. Do I... play the Tree Speaker and let's play this land. I don't know, especially with the Sylvan Library, I think there's a high chance he draws removal here. Do we go for it anyways? We're sacrificing 1 damage. I'm not sure that really does anything. Let's go for it. See if he can stop us from doing our thing next turn. He's already got 1 basic into play. He might not... I'm guessing he plays about 4 or 5 basics. So Ghost Quarter's not great, but there might be a time where it becomes okay. Probably not. You know, mostly you want to kill utility lands with Ghost Quarter. Got the removal? That's not removal. You could have Fatal Push, you could have a number of cards. Ultimate price. Yeah, so we paid the ultimate price for not Yavimaya Howling there. Alright, let's... do I scrying sheets? Is there something interesting I can Court of Calling for... let's play that. Court of Calling for 1 doesn't seem great. Let's scrying sheets, see what we can get. Probably wasteland next turn. No, we can't really wasteland next turn, can we? What does Tana do? Deals combat damage. Create that many. I don't know. It seems like a strange thing to put in your Vial Smasher deck. I think you really want the blue. But, I mean, Jun's good. Am I getting Dust Bolt here? We can play the land destruction game if you want to. Can't play Vial Smasher. Can play Tana. But then we can play Titania. Oh no, he can't play Tana. He doesn't have a red land. This is big. Reap and Sow. Oh, that one hurts. Alright. Not that it matters. So maybe I should have... Wouldn't have mattered. And he gets a land. He gets a wasteland. Ouch. So maybe I don't want to play the land destruction game. I think I have to go after his Dust Bowl. Oops. Otherwise, we're in a world of hurt. Let's play a Scavenging Ooze. If he plays a land, we can Tech Edge him. Hopefully he doesn't get a Crucible. That would be pretty bad for us. Although, don't have any non-basics anymore. Do we Tech Edge him? Alright. I think I do. Although this Sylvan Library advantage. Alright. Probably should have attacked. Acid Moss, huh? Do you want to get up there? Let's Tech Edge him. If I drop 2 more lands, I can Court of Calling for 0 and get a Dryad Arbor. And he kept a card. He's down to 12 life. Alright. That's the thing. Alright, you can't destroy that. Alright. These realms have not been charted. It's an instant, though. I guess you probably want to do it on your turn. Also lets you shuffle on your Sylvan library. Two cards in his graveyard. Let's put Ghost Quarter and... Oh, I should have gotten rid of his red lands. I wasn't thinking. Yeah, because of that. Still kind of in it. Need to draw another forest in order to Court of Calling for 0. Sit. Alright, we just got Outland Destruction. It happens. Also that Sylvan Library. But there's no sense in continuing to play this. We're way behind there. Opportunity against the same opponent. We're going versus time. And this hand looks great. Choke isn't too great, but... I don't know what this Blinkmoth Well is for. There's not really any artifacts in the deck that you want to tap. Maybe it's for opposing Winter Orbs. That's all I can think of. I mean, it's low opportunity cost. He is mulligan down to 5 and kept. He's playing Island or a Forest. It's 3 visits. Playing Elf. And this time we get the advantage on mana. We can't Titania next turn, but there is nothing in our graveyard. There are no lands. We can sack the command beacon for no value, but then we don't have enough mana. Wonder what he went and got. Sinkhole? Ancient Tomb. Yeah, I'm not really super interested in letting you keep that around. So let's Ice Storm the Ancient Tomb. And he gave us the GG. So that was a short one, but I think it's worth showing that the land destruction plan can easily go the other way. Titania hate. She just hates other people playing Magic. No ramp in this hand. Playing against Biosmasher Thrasios. This might actually be good enough because of the Cavernous Souls in the Wasteland into the Ice Storm. I don't know if... Hopefully we draw some mana ramp. Alright. I think you take the Ice Storm, right? I don't think the Reclamation Sage does much of anything. And he takes the Ice Storm. So, somewhat punished. Let's go after his Badlands. We got plenty of mana here. Hopefully he doesn't. I don't know if we play the Sylvan Safekeeper yet. Let's just play the Windswept Heath and say go. Alright, he's got another land. You know, we're just getting a forest here, but... I don't know about the Safekeeper yet. It's probably... If it wasn't right last turn, it's not right this turn. So now he gets to Psycho Miscalc. Okay. So it would have gotten Miscalc most likely. Drawing plenty of lands. There's Vial Smasher. This lack of mana ramp is not especially fun. I don't think we Tech Edge him next turn. Nishandras. I'm not going to block. I'm not going to sack land to protect. Alright. I take 2 damage. It's all fine and good. Let's attack Chandra and hope we can get off a nice... I mean, this is just really slow. I haven't drawn any mana ramp. But he might be relying on being able to counter the Titania. Although he might be able to remove it with the trigger on the stack. Although we do have the Sylvan Safeguard. So he can't remove it unless he removes the Safeguard. Alright. Take 2. Are we dead? Doesn't look like we're dead. Pretty close. Possibly next turn. Yeah. Notion Thief doesn't do anything. Oh, it does enough damage. Okay, I wasn't looking at my life properly. Alright. Slow start there. I don't know if it's still a bad matchup or not, but it's not going to be a good matchup with a start that slow. Against Sidisi. Zombies, I'd assume. Or probably, maybe not even zombies, just probably like a value. Creatures and then reanimation, and so kind of a semi-combo deck. So we play the Tree Speaker into potential removal. Let's find out. If he leaves up mana, we probably can't take up the Tree Speaker. Yeah, looks like that's what he wants to do, and we don't want to play that game. I can crop rotation for an ancient tomb, but then we need a green land. I think I still do that. Do we E-Witness for... Or do we Thought Not Seize? Just go for next turn. E-Witness doesn't put a land... leaves the land out of our graveyard. Let's seize his thoughts. Or Seer. Yeah, never mind. Different card. Strengths the Dead, Gurmag Angler. None of these do anything yet. Let's take the Living Death. I don't know if that's correct. Alright, you got a Sidisi. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't, we can't then play, well, we can play Eternal Witness, get back the crop rotation, but not do anything with it. Or we can Green Sun Zenith for Safekeeper? That's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, let's just go for the kill. We know what his hand is. He can't do anything in response to any of this. Alright. He didn't actually get a zombie off of the Sidisi trigger last turn. I don't think we block here. He didn't get it. He didn't get a zombie again. And yeah, he's very dead here. All right. Where I neglected to hit record, and I thought it was a really interesting game, so I figured I'd run through it in the replay. I got to play first, and this game was against Drana. So I've been seeing this deck around a lot. I've said that I don't think it's very good. This hand is pretty nuts, though. So we've got the turn 2 land destruction. I maybe should have waited to play the Mox Diamond until now. Don't think it matters too much. Getting, especially against a mono black player, they can't really do anything about an artifact. But getting a command beacon in the graveyard is pretty good for Titania. So I go for the time walk of destroying his land. And I swing with the Boreal Druid. And then he plays another swamp. And then I play City of Traders, figuring I can do it next turn. I can sack another land. And so I do that. I swing again with the Boreal Druid. Got a Titania in play now. I can sack this. He has removal from my Titania, though. I decided to sack the command beacon anyways, but his removal makes my City of Traders play not particularly very good, because now it's quite a ways before I can maybe if I had waited to put the 5/3 into play, or not sack the command beacon, I could get my guy back and then cast it. That might have been actually a better play. I didn't have anything to sack then. I wouldn't have had any lands in the graveyard. But this is what I did. So I ended up drawing a Terramorphic Expanse. I play Nissa. I get an island. I attack first. Got him down to 22, and then I play the forest and sack the City of Traders. So he's got a Lifebane zombie, but I've got nothing in my graveyard, or in my hand. So we draw a Sylvan Library, which is pretty awesome. And now I'm forced to trade probably the Elemental for a Lifebane zombie, or sit back. And I decided that sitting back isn't very good for me. Especially since Drana's, so good at pumping up the other creatures. We want him to not have any other creatures. So Drana on an empty board doesn't look too great. And I think I should have played the Terramorphic Expanse last turn, and then played a Snow-Covered Island. I think I could have played Titania then. Another kind of a mistake. I end up drawing a pretty gas. I paid 4 life to keep one of the cards. And I was thinking about Green Sun Zenithing for something, but I decided I'll wait on it because I've got so much mana. And he ends up playing a Jit on his turn. So that makes me decide that instead of playing Titania next turn, I want to Green Sun Zenith for a Woodland Bellower and get a Reclamation Sage. Oops. So we draw with our Sylvan Library, just lands, put them all back. We get a shuffle with the Woodland Bellower anyways. So I Green Sun Zenith for that. Get the Reclamation Sage and stop him from doing the Jit. And then I swing with Nissa and the Boreal Druid. The Boreal Druid's not doing much for me anymore. I decided to block with the Birds of Paradise. He was thinking about the Crypt Breaker, but the Woodland Bellower is far too big for him to attack into. So I want to stunt Drana a little bit. And he tragic slips the Woodland Bellower because I blocked. So I wasn't expecting that. Now, I can play Craterhoof Behemoth now, but then I only have 2 creatures untapped. So that does, you know, +3/+3, they're 5 damage, plus, you know, 8. It's just not enough to kill him. I forgot the Nissa flips, so I played the land. He has a removal spell anyways, so it's probably better that I didn't go all in with the Craterhoof Behemoth. I decided I'd rather just go in with Craterhoof Behemoth next turn and play Titania now, get a land back, and have 2 5/3s. Make the Craterhoof Behemoth that much better. And I attack with these guys. He doesn't want to block with Crypt Breaker. And he swings. And he pumps up his creature. And so he reanimates Lifebane Zombie, which takes the Craterhoof Behemoth out of my hand. So I wasn't expecting that. I actually told him in chat that that was a pretty clutch reanimate for Lifebane Zombie. He was dead otherwise. So we draw crop rotation, and I decide to keep just that because he doesn't know it's coming. And that allows me to crop rotate something for... I forgot about the Crypt Breaker, so he gets to put a 2/2 in front of the elf. Not a big deal. But I can crop rotation for a Mazavith and stop the Drana. And he blocks one of my 5/3s. That's all fine and good. He doesn't actually know that I have a sacrifice effect right now. He knows I have a card in hand. So he swings with Drana and one of the 2/2 zombies. And I go for the crop rotation play. That keeps the zombie from getting bigger and allows me to block with the elemental. So that was a pretty nice play, I think. It now means that Drana can block, but I can Mazavith if I have to, if I'm but it probably means that I can't attack because there's not much value to attacking right now. So he plays a Lash Wraith. I draw Winter's Grass, use the Sylvan Library, Nature's Claim, and Sylvan Safekeeper. Sylvan Safekeeper just wins the game next turn. So I keep that. I keep the Nature's Claim to kill the Lash Wraith. I don't think giving him 4 life really matters that much, especially when I've got all these lands. So I played the Sylvan Safekeeper. He plays a Brain Maggot, so I play the Nature's Claim. He's got a Brain Maggot, but he's not willing to attack. Mazavith stops Drana. And I start sacking lands. And he realizes the writing's on the wall. I can go much wider than him and take him out for the 14 life. So I thought that was a really interesting match because it looked like I was way ahead at the beginning. He started to claw back into it, but this deck's got a lot of inevitability. With Titania Hate. Seems pretty good. And we're playing against a creature deck, so we'll keep this. We play first. So Elvish Mystic into Follow Earth seems pretty good. Let's say play a fetch land. Leave it untapped. In which case, I guess Into the North is still pretty good. Oh, I don't know. I actually... Do we wait a turn? It's so much mana here. Into the north, 3 visits. I don't know if he can do anything. He didn't do anything last turn. Let's set him back. You draw a Sun Petal Grove. Alright, crop rotation is great. Basically, that Follow Earth was a time walk. Let's get Malthuronum and say go. Because this is going to be a turn 3 for Titania, but he'll only have 1 land. And we've already got all this. I guess we already had a Wooded Hills, so I don't know if we need the... If he tries to kill our elf, it doesn't really do anything. I guess we crop rotation after playing the Titania. So if he... Yeah, no, it doesn't. Alright, Wild Mongrel's an interesting one. So... Ancient Tomb. We can just Maze of It. It's probably pretty good. He doesn't know that we're making 2 5/3s next turn. Although Maze of It keeps it... Well, I don't think he was going to attack anyways. Sin Collector. This is instant or sorcery, so let's sack this, make a guy, get a forest, crop rotation, this thing probably seems fine. And I think we get Wasteland here, don't we? Alright, that wins it. With Titania Hate, we're playing first. We're playing against Xenagos. Usually a pretty fast deck. I guess we keep this. Maze of It seemed pretty good against Xenagos. We'd like another land or two, though. Here's one. Let's not tell him we're playing Wasteland yet. I mean, everybody's playing Wasteland, but let's not tell him we've drawn it. I guess we play the Serpapard. It's a decent creature. tech edge shouldn't be too scary. You missing a land? That's pretty good. I think we need to wait until next turn when we can... Well, no, wait, we can crop rotation this turn. So, play Wasteland, let's crop rotation, sack this land. Get a fetch land, doesn't really matter which one. Fetch for a forest. Play Titania. Oh, we have to pick a land. Normally there's only one. And he does have a land. He plays a Wood Elves. For a stomping ground. Which I think was incorrect. Get a forest, and can we Misty Rainforest, get that, prime time. I don't know if it's correct to do this before combat. He's all tapped out, so it doesn't super matter. Let's get Dust Bowl. Yavimaya Hollow seems alright. And then we want something we can sack. So let's just get a sack land. Let's hit his stomping ground. Should have got a basic. An attack, he might block. Maybe he needed to like cast Sweltering Suns or something. So there's a Raging Ravine. Are you just dead here? But we can kill Raging Ravine. Yeah. Alright. Against Timna and Sidar. This looks slow. Let's mulligan it. This looks fun. This looks great actually. The choke is dead. Let's keep it. I don't know if that was correct actually to keep. Do we just want an elf instead? I think the elf is actually better. I think I shouldn't have kept the exploration. Don't have any way to put a land into our graveyard yet. So something other than exploration might have been better for that. Rain maggot. What do you pick? The elf? Pick the choke. Please take the choke. Might just be the fierce empath. Because I can actually get a primeval titan pretty quickly off that thing. And he takes the elf. And we get a 3 visits. Can we... 3 visits. Fierce empath. And get a primeval titan. Can't cast it yet. Need a forest. Can cast a Titania, but there's no lands in our graveyard. If we draw a land to put in our graveyard, it's pretty good. That 3 visits were pretty clutch. To be fair, there's quite a bit of that going on in my deck. But that one actually only costs 1 mana. Alright. One, two, three, 4, I guess. It's going to be a little bit frustrating. I can still play something. Smuggler's Copter. It's a damn fine card. Go with these 3. And play Titania. We have top decked like the absolute nuts at every single occasion. Play Timna and swing at me with the Smuggler's Copter and draw a card. Can't be too incorrect. Oh, 4 mana. All right. Nothing I can do there. Alright. If he hits my land, I get a 5/3. Alright, that card doesn't do anything. Do I want to tap an elemental to ensure that I can... or Titania? Alright. No, we drew a land anyways. We didn't know. So Wasteland's an easy one. And nothing I can do about that. So I guess Maltharonum? Against Timna, Smuggler's Copter, Equipped Jet. Looks like he's just strange not to equip the Jet. Guess he's looking to block. But that's kind of what the Maltharonum is for. And he throws in the towel. Is he dead? I guess he was just looking to draw, see what he could get. I don't think he's dead. Not yet, but he's pretty close to dead. So, that was an interesting match. Alright, we got another one. Playing against Titania, so this is where we get to see if these land destruction spells are good in the mirror match, and a non-ramp hand isn't great. This isn't great either. I guess we have to keep it and look at the scry. If we can get a forest, we can crop rotate it for an ancient tomb and then follow Earth him. Ooh. That's no good. Just way behind already. Let's play the Petrified Field. Hopefully he doesn't have a Ancient Tomb here, or a City of Traders to play Titania this turn. This Hall of Gemstone's pretty bad. He could just play another ramp spell though, and that would be pretty bad. Is he not drawn a land? Is that what's taking so long? Okay, he cultivates. So no matter what, he gets to go off next turn? Winter's Grasp is better than Follow Earth. I don't think it matters though. I think we're just too slow. We can go off next turn, actually. If he hasn't drawn a land. He also doesn't currently have a way to sack a land once he plays his Titania. And we do. We have a couple ways. I think Wooded Foothills is the best of them. Sylvan Library is an amazing card. Take one? We take one. So Follow Earth doesn't stop him here. So we just play Titania, get back the Wooded Foothills, and say go. So what I was wondering, actually, is if these land destruction spells were good in the mirror match and also against Gitrog Monster. You know, slow them down. You know, basically time walk them. And so far, it seems to have. I mean, he got the Sylvan Library, which is a nice. Which is another nice mirror breaker. We're both playing that card. I got to play first, but I had a slower start. And killing a land kept him from... But then he's got the bigger Eldrazi in his deck, most likely. Which might allow him to break the mirror. And Lignify is pretty good. not a great card there. The hollow is pretty good. Let's follow Earth. Keep him from getting too nuts with his land. He's got a Sylvan Library, so he can just pay mana, but you pay life to get cards to offset. So while the land destruction was pretty good, I think Sylvan Library is probably better. We do have more enchantment removal in the deck than the other Titania deck I was playing, quite a bit more. Because, you know, we have the Acidic Slime, Reclamation Sage, and Nature's Claim. And my other one was playing none of those. So that can... So he kept 2 cards. If they're one of them's Eldrazi, that's really bad news for me. I wouldn't mind having Titania die here. Depending on what he plays. We're at a standstill right now, I think. But he just drew 2 cards, so I don't think the standstill stay that way for long. And I don't think the life he spent is gonna... Well, maybe he's just trying to get around some bad draws. But he has the advantage of being able to do that, whereas I don't. Or he could be ramping to one of his big Eldrazi. Oh, that's bad. That makes us dead. That makes us super dead. I mean, I'll see what I draw, but he has more lands, so even if I get a Sylvan Library, or a Zurin Orb, or a Safekeeper, like, it doesn't matter. Couple turns too late for this Court of Calling. So all he has to do is go all in, and we're dead. So if he starts sacking lands, we're dead. I mean, he could be afraid of what we have, but I don't know what you'd be afraid of. It's a pretty clear line, I think. I don't know what he's afraid of. Alright, he decided not to go for it. I don't know if Primetime or Woodland Bellower is good enough here. Duplicant. Forces him to go all in. No, he's got Shroud. Alright, Wasteland's pretty bad. Do you just not have to go all in because you got an Ulamog? Green Sun Zenith for 8. Alright. Alright, that'll do it, yeah. I'll let you swing. Not gonna block. Negative 45. Alright, so the land destruction cards do have a potential to break the mirror, I think. I think I showed it there. I was off to a slow start, but I got mine Titania first. But Sylvan Library is just that good that he was able to draw around it pretty easily, and he just drew better cards. And mostly mirrors are about drawing your cards that are better than their cards. And you know, Zern Orb, Safekeeper, those are what you want to win. And then so. Still, I think the deck has potential. We just didn't happen to win that mirror. Playing against Jorian. Fast tempo control deck. We'll keep. This looks fine. We go second. And if he wants to counter something, probably Into the North is our worst one. Although it does get Maltharonum, which is a removal spell. But 3 visits lets us do 2 things in 1 turn. Let's get the Maltharonum. Get us a forest. Play a Nissa to try and eat up his counter spells. Alright, Nissa resolves. Alright. It was actually really close to flipping. Let's play a Zern Orb. I don't think we play into the counter spell. I think we play Tireless Tracker. It's kind of a must counter. Although these land destruction looking pretty good. And kill it now? Alright. Play Sylvan Safekeeper. Maybe you should have played that first. Trying to decide if he wants to kill it. I think I do save it at least once. Probably sack the clue first to see what I draw. See if I draw a land. I don't think it sways what I do though, so maybe I don't sack the clue. What's going on here? Alright. Might have had to do something else. Haven't seen any counter spells out of him yet. You know what? No. Do we... That's pretty good. Let's see if he can... Let's play around days. Force spike and all that nonsense. We can sack this one. Let's play the... We can always get Titania back into our hand with this command beacon. Delay. Alright. That's fine. What are we playing here? Deep analysis. is interesting. Alright, so he gets to keep a counterspell up, huh? But he's not going to. He's going to flashback Deep Analysis. I think he's actually dead here. He could have Sweltering Suns or something like that. Okay, which case I don't know if crop rotation into Wasteland, into killing Shivan Reef is especially very good. We play a Maze of Ith. We haven't played a land this turn. I don't think I'm that worried about his mana. Can't really kill Titania without like mass removal. Sweltering Suns would do it. Alright, that doesn't look like a Sweltering Suns type. Now I think we crop rotation. Sacking that. Get Wasteland, sack it. Alright, it's pretty over anyways. So this is interesting because I think this one is actually a pretty bad matchup. But we didn't draw any of the land destruction spells, so like we just really got some really good tempo, and we out-tempoed him. So we don't know if the land destruction spells would have helped us in this match or not. They probably would have. And we weren't really hurt by not having the Eldrazi. So, hard to say. To do a wrap-up about this deck after I played a decent number of games with it. I didn't unfortunately run into many of the blue and control matchups, and when I did, I drew what looked like a pretty normal Titania deck, so I don't know if the land destruction really helps that much. I think that maybe it could, but the difference is going to be pretty marginal. I did run into a bunch of creature matchups though, and I don't think the package really hurts us there. The deck is still super strong against other creature decks, and it's one of the fastest creature decks around. The combo matchup still looks pretty bad, but mono green is going to have a hard time interacting with combo no matter what. I think that some of these cards might give you a slightly better chance, but short of mana screwing a greedy keep, combo is going to remain a pretty bad matchup. One thing that I did notice is the deck tends to play Titania on turn 4 more often than on turn 3, whereas normal Titania decks hit turn 3 Titania more often. I also think that the land destruction package isn't particularly good in the mirror, and you're also running less ramp than a normal deck, and you have a worse top end. So I think you're actually making your mirror match worse by playing a deck like this. And also, since Gitrog monster decks play out a lot like a mirror, I'd be willing to bet that you're worsening that matchup as well. We already know that Titania decks are among the top tier decks, and I think the difference between this and a normal Titania deck are pretty marginal and probably metagame dependent. If the meta is more creature heavy, just play a normal Titania deck, and if you expect more control, you might want to try this and possibly eke out a few more percentage points out of it. If the metagame is super heavy into combo and control though, you might want to just consider another deck. Either way, I had a lot of fun, and I hope that you had fun exploring this deck with me.